Alright guys, welcome back to the Hunter Collective. Today we've got Ollie in our chair. We're going to be doing quite a versatile haircut today actually. We're going to be doing a lot more of a top heavy haircut. So this is the haircut I seen back in like, it was on Levi's ad in like about 2008, and I've always looked and I always thought it's something that stayed very relevant in terms of a masculine haircut. So it was on a model called Josh Beach, and it was a Levi's campaign, and it was basically just it was like the start of the hipster sort of movement haircut, and it was very top heavy on here, still with quite a bit of fringe, not blunt enough, and just more of a kind of very top heavy haircut, and then the back and sides were nice and tight. But they were about a 1. This was probably before the skin fades and that kind of thing, and it was probably like a number 1, but it was really high, and almost, I don't know if you remember, but when that kind of really top heavy haircut came in, where it was almost not blended in, where it was all very undercut before it moved over to the side parts, it was that kind of haircut. But today I'm not going to do it as extreme. We want to have still a bit of blend in there, but I'm going to still utilise a lot of them elements of being really high at the back. We'll bring it down, but we'll add a little bit of, I think a good thing for this today is that we'll put a little bit of skin fade around the very bottom, just to make it a bit more modern. But what we're going to mainly be focusing on is loads of movement and texture through the top here, and keeping it still very heavy. So the good thing about that is that it's versatile, so you can wear it down, up or across. Now it's good for guys who want to mix the look up. It'll be very easy for Ollie to grow out as well. And for Ollie's texture of hair, he's got such a great texture. Like, it's got a little bit of curl in there, it's quite straight in other areas. So this will be such a lovely versatile haircut for him. And for anyone else who's got a very similar hair texture to Ollie, it's very coarse, very dry in texture, but it's got a bit of curl in there as well. So again, versatility is the key for this haircut today. But I just want to add a little bit of a kind of a modern twist to it by doing maybe a bit of a skin fade around the very bottom, but nothing too high. It'll be mainly focused on about the 1 being very high, and that kind of very shallow blend into length. Just showing you how to get that by doing horizontal sections through the top, so bringing the weight across, but as it works forward, it all blends in nicely. So it's kind of like a disconnection but connected. Makes no sense, but it'll make more sense when you see it done. So we're going to give it a shampoo condition, and then we'll start with the cut. Right guys, so that is all washed and conditioned. Nice white little blank canvas for me now. So with this one, we're not looking too much at head shape. I know I always talk a lot about head shape because that's what I've been taught, that's what I believe is the right thing, but for this haircut, we're not looking at that at all. This is a much a very creative haircut in some ways, so we're not having to worry about being too square. We're actually looking just for that real overall look of being very top heavy. Again, trying to play with the length we've already got now. As you can see, when it's wet, it's such a different texture. Like, I mean, if you just scrunch it up, you get a lot of movement, a lot of bend in there as well. He's also got a cow's lip just on this side here as well, so I'll show you here. You could just turn Ollie towards the camera. Got a very prominent cow's lip. So for something like this haircut is going to be absolutely perfect for him, because again, that top heaviness is going to weigh down over the cow's lip. Now, I've got a cow's lip myself, but not as strong as Ollie's. Now, with Ollie's, it's either you go long or short, there's no in between. But because we're going for that kind of, again, that top heavy look, we're leaving quite a bit of weight in this hair. Not looking to thin it out too much. It's going to be the way I section is going to create the texture and the shape for this. But with this cow's lip, by leaving that length a bit heavier, it's going to kind of naturally curl up and bend up and give that real kind of like natural look and natural texture. So this has actually worked out really well for anyone with a cow's lip. Going with that little extra top heaviness just allows it to weigh it down slightly as well and get that little bit more versatility through it. Good thing as well, if you want to pop it up, you can do, because the cow's lip's great for doing partings and stuff. Just bring it this way, it stays really well as well, because it just splits naturally. So you get a really nice parting as well. So again, top heaviness is allowing us a lot more length to be left in there, creating 3 or 4 different looks for however he feels, whenever he wakes up in the morning. Right, so I'm going to start on my number 2, and I'm going to be taking it sort of quite a high blend. So I'm looking to kind of work a very shallow blend into this section here. So again, it's going to be using it on this angle, so coming up higher. So I'm going to replicate my section. So a little bit lower here, I'm going to bring the blend up a bit higher up. So I'm not going to take the crown off completely, but I'm going to not try and take too much away from what we've got now, so it's very short. So you really start to see the difference from the side profile for this look as well.
It's not the first. I think it's the 1st of June.
Oh, is So there's my number 2 done. Now I'm going to start the blend on this now. So a bit like when I do a normal skin fade, I kind of blend it into the top so I know where I'm working to and where the blend point is. We'll do a very similar to that start today, but I just want to make sure I'm getting this blending done so I can work into my blend. So again, I'm knowing exactly where I'm going to balance the top heaviness to. It was just a wicked place, it really was. So there's my 2 blended in. So I'm starting to create that shape that I'm looking for now, that nice high blend. And again, I've sectioned all this top off, but I'm still leaving myself enough room I can get my fingers through it and be able to blend. So that's what I'm still looking for as well. I'm going to put the baseline in for the 0 blend now. So I'm going to go for what we call a drop fade. So I don't want to take it too high up. I think there's a lot going on in this hair, but I don't want it to be taken away from the fact of it just being a fade. So I'm going to keep the fade nice and low and blend into that. The main focus is the top being really, really heavy and much longer than the back and sides as well. So we'll move on to the trimmers or the mini clippers, whatever you like to call them, just for the sharpness.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just going to move on to my foilers as well, just for around the edges, to clean these up. Now I'm going to work down my blend, starting at 1.5 and then working down to get into the 0. Pretty high up into the 2. Again, we're going for that top heaviness, so we want to showcase the shortness of the back and sides and how high the back and sides are blended in. So this is the point where I'm just using the head shape to blend. I'm just letting my clipper come up and off into my number 2. Just allowing it to blend naturally and gradually for me as well. First my 0.5 and into my 1. I'm just using in between my 0 and my 0.5 to blend out that line. And then I'll work on my 0.5 guard, just to take away any of the weight. Now, that is the majority of my clipper work done. So what's nice about the way you're doing it this way is it's a very subtle low blend, so we don't leave that kind of weight line in it at all. So that's why I like to sometimes, because we're doing something that we're trying to focus more on the top being the main focus of this haircut, by doing quite a nice subtle low blend, even down to skin, is actually quite nice because it takes the effect of what we're going for. Not everyone's going to go, oh, that's a nice fade. It'll be more like, oh, that looks really cool, it all blends in, but then we've got this top heaviness. So by doing it this way and working down in guards, like I've just done there, it's a lot more of a subtle graduation. It's not a very harsh kind of, you know, when you see that really harsh kind of like a weight line blend. I've tried to stay away from that stage, so I've done it a different way around to get more subtle. This way you'll still see by taking the height there and leaving it coming through. See all that top heaviness coming in there. Even just by wetting it without even doing anything to it, we've got that the shape that I was looking for. So that nice top heaviness. See, as you can see, the nice high blend coming to nice heavy fringe. So this is the look we're going for. And see, just by doing a simple section and blending, it's so obvious straight away. So all we're going to do is just accentuate this now. I'll do quite harsh cutting angle as well now, because I want it to be quite a harsh kind of choppy haircut, but again still being quite versatile as well. So I'm just going to keep the crown fit a little bit shorter than the fringe and move that much to follow the guide underneath. So I'm going to leave still quite a lot of length in there, but the crown needs to be the shortest point for this haircut and the fringe be the longest to give that top heavy effect. Obviously not much comes off the fringe. Yeah, we'll have that nice top heaviness through here as well. So I'm going to keep everything nice and square through this top bit. I'm going to bring everything horizontally through my fingers there as well. I'm going to connect this in. And we're working horizontally to the point where this bit will disconnect through the fringe. So again, I'm following that guide in. Doesn't have to be a perfect section, just bringing it over. That's what I'm looking for, my guide underneath there, very shallow guide. I'm just going to cut it, follow the same there. Nice top heavy, nice fringe heavy.
Not training. I mean, she just said she's like, yeah, she's like,
we're taking a really wide section to create a load of movement. So you basically chop, 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 chop. That's how it kind of works. So bits to be shorter, bits to be longer, bits to be shorter, bits to be longer, and that allows all that length to be selected with sort of shorter element through it as well. Now I'm going to cut the fringe in. Yeah, it's a little bit too long with this fringe at the moment. I'm just picking the length that I think suits it, this look. Just being this string nice and straight across. As you see, there's a nice little point in there where it sits nice and heavy over that fringe. I'm going to break this up now. This section before the fringe, where it's heavy. I'm just going to slide forwards, because again, sliding forwards, I want this hair to sit forwards as well. I'm just going to cut into this fringe as well. It'll be super textured, super heavy still. And then we're going to do some slide cutting into it as well. It's a really nice and heavy texture. Working along. You don't want to do this when it's dry, because it'll be very, very painful for the client. I'm going to break right into this. I'm not going to do it on the cow's lick, because I still want that to sit nice and flat. As you can see, the hair comes over, it's just nice and flat. So I'm just picking for the bits that I want to break up now. This side's totally fine, so I'm going to cut into this side a little bit as well. And just fine tune anything. I'm going to dry this off now, and then I'm going to maybe add a little bit more texture when it's dry, just so it looks like, and then style. Right, so a little bit of your Regal Gentleman salt spray. I'm just going to finger dry this through. Work my fingers around the head like this, so medium heat, medium speed. I'm just going to start drying this over left, right, back, forwards, all over the place just to dry it through. And when you break it up, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to chop into it a little bit. I'm loving the movement in that. So, hope what I was saying about when it looks connected. So when you bring this forward, you can see it's nice and looks nice and blended. But then when you bring it across, it's almost got an overhang in it. You know what I mean? So that's when I say when you got that connection / disconnection, you've got what you're trying to aim for is that blend where it's coming quite top heavy and forward heavy. Then you've got that disconnection to it as well. So you want to mess it up and make it really breaking up like that. You can do. I'm just feeling for where it still feels a little bit too thick. I'm just going to cut into this just to break it up a bit. Again, very minimal for this one because I'm liking the thickness to it. And I think it's going to help weigh it down and also allow it to create a lot of different hairstyles as well. And that's the look finished. So I'll start it with a little bit of the Regal Gentleman clay and I'll just break it up and show you one of the ways you can wear it.
Yeah, you don't think that when you're getting married,
you don't need a lot. Say about roughly about pea size, and just make sure again you rub right the way through. You want this to go right through your fingers as well when you start scrunching it through as well. Now add a little bit to the crown, like I always say, just to make sure you get product in there. Warm it up and apply it like a shampoo. And then just bring it all forward. Use your comb just to break that up a little bit. And you get that nice top heavy finish. Again, just twisting bits, nice and fast, will create a little more mess, a little bit more kind of dishevelled look. And also, if you twist it, anyone's got a little bit of bend in the hair as well, and you twist it, it creates that nice little S curl through it as well. And that's it. How's that look for you, man?
That's great.
Well, nice to
Yeah, cheers.
Cool. But with the beauty of this is by being so top heavy. Ollie can wear it however he wants. You can wear it forwards, you can wear it messy, you can bring it up off the fringe, you can wear it however, really versatile haircut. And it also grows out nicely as well, because it grows out in the shape as well. So I just think it's a good haircut for his texture of hair and just generally just being able to get up out of bed and crack on really, mate. That's what I think. Cool. Happy, yeah?
Yeah, really.
Sweet.
Thank you. Cheers.
And for anyone getting it, asking for it, Dan, what can I ask for? Because I imagine this one's a little bit more. It's not really there's not really necessarily a name for this one, is there?
It's kind of just a very top-heavy haircut, really. As long as you're keeping the top a lot more noticeably longer than the back and sides, I would say whatever length you choose. I mean, I had free reign on all his hair today, back and sides. He was like, "Look, I'm starting a new job soon. Do it, I'll go short as you want." So I didn't want to go too high and tight because I think it would take the effect off the top. But if that's what you like, you can crack on. You can do a very high skin fade if you want. But all you're looking for is sort of a very high blend back and sides, whatever length you want, and then just leaving it very top heavy. So just if you get in the barbers and you get the back and sides cut first, as he's just blended it in, have a look at it and see if that's how you like it. And say just take a little bit off the top. And that's all you're really looking for, is that however you do it, you're just looking for that kind of heavy top. So yeah, it is a very versatile and simple haircut to do. But again, just ask for something that's very top heavy, and I think they'll probably know what you mean. Or take our video in. No,
Yeah.
play around with that. If you want to wear it up, you can do.
Yeah.
If you want to wear it a little bit more down,
Nice.
you can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got such versatility through this as well, yeah. And the good thing is, like I said, it grows out well as well, so you can do whatever you want with it, really.
Safe.
That's it.
Cheers.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.